Hello YouTube blade lovers, this old sword back with you. I've got an interesting knife today that they say has been discontinued, but no worries, it has a close relative that's still being made. This is the SOCP Folder. This version, you're going to see the difference in a minute, is the 390 SBK. And there is still being made a version 391T SBK and SB. You'll see the difference in a moment. Not that I have both here, but I can show you a picture. So what they did, and let me bring this out a little bit because this is a large knife when open over 10 inches. And there you have it. Interesting folder, special purpose, special built and designed. And I'm going to throw a photograph of the current model out here. The difference you're going to see is that the one on the table is a liner lock with a little different handle design. And this one is an axis lock. So, for this SOCP folder, designed by Greg Thompson, by the way, they converted it from a liner lock to an axis lock. I sort of prefer axis locks, so problem being this is a first production run, therefore it's an original. And look at all that billboarding on there. Wow, we got everything on there. We've got the SOCP logo, we've got Greg Thompson's name, first production, and this is number 818 of 1200 in D2, and the latest one is in D2 as well. There's a Benchmade logo on the other side, so you got a lot of white on black here. G10 handle. I believe the new one is, let's see, the new one, trying to find on, this is a Blade HQ sheet I'm reading off of. The new material is some sort of resin. Let's see what they call it. Not being listed, but I saw it somewhere. Anyway, I won't hang it up for that. So they're using kind of an injection molded handle, I believe, on the latest one. This one built very much the same. Read you off some quick specs since they're the same on the new one as the old one. It's a D2 that has a HRC of 60 to 62. That's fairly hard. Handle width is 1 inch. Handle thickness is a 1/2 inch. And we'll measure this one up because that's the only variable. The new one may have a thicker handle since it's molded. All right, I pulled a sheet on the older model, which, although it's discontinued, they still list on Blade HQ. So the handle thickness on the old model that you're looking at is 0.42 inches. And it's a G10 handle material. And I'm still not seeing, oh, here we go. It's a long sheet, so pardon me. I'm trying to look at it quickly while I run the video. The new handle material is referred to as CF Elite. That's a trademark. I do not know what that means. Some sort of resin material. I don't have the new model with me. Again, we're really talking about the same knife with two different actions. One is a axis lock, one is a liner lock. Other than that, specs are the same. So we've got an overall length of 10.15 inches. We've got a blade length of 4.47 inches. If you're worried about a long blade in your jurisdiction, you might want to forget about EDCing this one. Got a cutting edge of 4¼ inches on this one, and 4 inches on the new one for some reason. I got a blade thickness of 0.121, which is the same on both models. Liner is a stainless steel on the this one. And what's the weight? It is a lightweight. So the weight is 4.63 ounces on the one you're looking at, and a little lighter on the newer one, 4.1 ounces. Had a few small interruptions here, so pardon me. You don't notice it because we stopped the video from rolling and picked it back up again. Okay, so I think we got all the specs out of the way. What we've got is a classic spear point blade, stiletto style blade. Yes, this one is serrated. This was picked up at a local gun store, and the buyer there tends to like to order the serrated models. It may not be as pretty looking as a smooth edge, but because the blade's so darn long, you got plenty of usable smooth edge there and a good section of serrated edge for cutting strapping, smooth rope, anything that a smooth edge has trouble with. The opener on this one is a thumb disc. Very similar to a lot of the Emerson knives that you see, original models. I'm sure there's still thumb discs on most Emersons. The handle is unusual, and the new handle is similar in that we have these 3 depressions, indents, along the handle, and a very interesting 4-position pocket clip. I happen to have it mounted on the hinge or pivot side rather than here because it gives me almost a flush deep carry, whereas here leaves a little bit sticking out, and you also tend to strafe your hand on the glass breaker. You can see the stainless liners there with some pretty effective jimping here, here, and here. Opening is very easy. It is a light detent, and it closes also almost drop shutting. It runs on washers, not bearings. You can see them there. It's a open back, well, partially open back construction. It does have a backspacer. So we got a backspacer of G10. Got a lanyard hole, blackened blade. Not sure what's being used to blacken that blade, and I don't see that listed. Again, very positive opener. How light is the detent? Well, you can shake it out with a good wrist snap. So for that reason as well, I have it set up point down, so I don't reach my hand in the pocket and have it stick me, although the blade is usually to the back when you orient that way. But you can see that we have mount holes on both sides, top and bottom. So you got complete control, complete choice. These little guys are used to reposition the knife. So I'm not going to spin it around here with it open. I don't have the room, and I don't feel like looking through the camera and cutting myself at the same time. The pocket clip pulls out of the pocket very easily. That's part of the purpose, that you have positive purchase on that clip. You don't need to grab the knife because you're pulling on that that hole. Very similar to a Spidey hole, except it's on the clip. At the same time, that can be used to reposition the knife. So you got positive purchase there to change the position of the knife. You just have to be careful about what you're doing when you make that repositioning. So you can change position way down here and click it, roll it, have it in whatever position you'd like. So it's a purpose-driven knife. See if I can read you a little bit about Mr. Thompson. Designed by Greg Thompson. It is a tactical folder. Perfect first choice for on or off duty work. Outfitted with high-end materials. And it does mention that Benchmade's new CF Elite on the newer model. SOCP Tactical is ideal for a variety of functions, ranging from self-defense to shaving wood or buttering toast. Oh, really? Drop this bad boy in your pocket and feel comfortable. Feel the comfort that only comes from being prepared with a tool you can trust. Well, I can see it as serving some EDC functions for sure. It is, again, a very long knife. Let's look at it in comparison to what we usually think of as a large, long knife, the Rat 1. And you can see, even with the little perspective change there, that we've got a long knife we're dealing with here. Longer blade, longer overall, longer handle. You know, part of the reason behind the long handle is to be able to manipulate the knife. You can look up Greg Thompson's SOCP tactics for both his fixed blade, which has a ring in the end, and a fast deployment sheath, or with this knife. He uses similar techniques, although the folder is going to be a little bit different than the fixed blade to some degree. And there we have the Freak, which doesn't like being overshadowed by such a long knife. Do you talk to your knives? I talk to my knives sometimes. Funny stuff. So, hoping you like this overview of the SOCP folder by Greg Thompson. This particular one, again, being the 390 and not the 391. And it is the serrated version SBK. If you like this video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for joining. We'll be back soon.